Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to Nat Fashion Hub. It's always an exciting thing to be here, knowing fully well that you are out there and you're watching these videos and they're helping you. That's my joy. Thank you so much for subscribing to this channel, and if you have not subscribed to this channel, hit the subscribe button and turn the notification bell on so that you will not miss out on any of my videos. If you don't subscribe, you won't know when I drop a video. If you subscribe but you did not turn the notification bell on, you will still not know when I drop a video and you'll be missing out. So please subscribe so that you'll be carried along. Today we are going to learn how to cut a vintage shirt. Vintage shirt is very simple. So within the next 3-4 minutes we are done with cutting a vintage shirt. As simple as that. So hit the subscribe button and subscribe to this channel. Welcome, and feel free to drop questions in case you don't understand anything in the comment section. Drop questions on any step you don't understand and I will treat those questions. And also, if there's anything you want me to do video about, just drop a comment. Let me know that this is what you want me to do video about and I'll do that. Welcome to my Fashion Hub. Let's start our class. So we will, without wasting time, we'll go straight into cutting our vintage shirt. So this is the fabric we're using to cut our vintage shirt. I've folded it into two, you see, into two. And so when cutting a vintage shirt, first of all you check if your fabric is enough to give you to cut a shirt before you start. So this material is wide enough to cut the size of vintage shirt that we want to cut. So secondly, you fold it into two. You see, it's folded into two. Now our measurement for this shirt, we'll be using the measurements. This measurement: shoulder of 17, bust of 38, length, the shirt length of 27, the sleeve of the shirt will be using 8 for the sleeve length, and the sleeve round will be using 12. So let us start. Now, when cutting a vintage shirt, unlike the normal packet shirt, like I did in my other video, if you watched how I cut it, you will see that this that I'm saying now is one of the basic and unique differences between vintage shirt and packet shirt. You see that if you're cutting a normal packet shirt, this button allowance here, 2 inches is enough for it. 2 inches is enough. But for vintage shirt, 2 inches is too small. It is too small. For vintage, you give an allowance minimum of 5 inches. You give an allowance minimum of what? 5 inches. So for vintage shirt, we are not going to use an allowance of 2 inches like the normal shirt. We are folding this in by what? 5 inches. This is 5 inches. Very important. This is a point that you must take note of. You must take note of this point. If you forget this point, you cannot get a vintage shirt. So first you fold this in by what? 5 inches. You see, this for fabric, you fold it in by 5 inches. 5 inches is okay. 5 inches is fine. I think for almost whatever kind of size we're making vintage shirt for, 5 inches is okay. You can use 4, but 5 is better to avoid having issues at the end. So let's go ahead to take our measurements. First of all, we will locate the length of our shirt. We say the length of this shirt is 27. So we measure, this is 27, plus 1 inch allowance. Just 1 inch is okay. Plus 1 inch allowance. See, measure here. That gives you 28. 27, you are cutting at 28. That is with 1 inch allowance. So let's get this line straight. I hope this chalk is clear enough for you to see. That's the length of our shirt. Next, we will check our shoulder measurement. Our shoulder, we said we're using a shoulder of 17. Shoulder, when you're cutting, you divide shoulder by 2. Shoulder divided by 2, you have 17 by 2, you have 8.5. You have 8.5. So this is 8.5. Now you add ½ inch sewing allowance. That becomes 9. So what we have here, this is 9. This is 9. And then you deepen it in by 3 inches. We see, you deepen it in by 3 inches, from up to down 3 inches. You use your ruler to join this line to this point. See? So we are done with our shoulder. The next thing we will do is to get our arm. If you remember in my last video, I told you that the formula for getting arm of any measurement is bust to measurement minus 2 inches divided by 2. So for this bust, we are having bust of 38 minus 2 inches. That will be equal to 36, right? When you divide 36 by 2, you will be having 18. So it means for this top, we are making the arm for this vintage top, the arm round, the arm is 18. Now when we come to cut, when you are cutting, you divide arm measurement by 2. Remember, you divide shoulder measurement by 2, you divide arm measurement by 2, you divide bust measurement by 4. So you divide the arm measurement by 2. So now divide 18 by 2. If you divide 18 by 2, you will have 9, right? Divide 18 by 2, you will have 9. But again, when you come to cut, you are not going to use the whole 9 to locate your arm here. No, that will be too much. We will minus 2.5 inches from 9. That will give us 6.5. I hope this method is very clear. That will give us 6.5. 6.5. So on this 6.5, we'll now take our bust measurement. We say our bust is 38. 38 divided by 4 will give us 38. This is 38 divided by 4. 38 divided by 4 will give us 9.5. So our bust is 9, and this is 9.5 plus 3/4 inch sewing allowance. That becomes 9 3/4. So we are done with the length of a shirt. We are done with our shoulder. We are done with the arm. Now let's come to the end side of the shirt. Here we got 9.5. That is 38 divided by 4. We got 9.5. We are going to use the same 9.5 down here. 9.5 plus 3/4 inch allowance. Let's now join our points together. Now, one might be wondering, how do I know the right way to curve this arm? It's very simple. Look at this. We have 9 here. Bring it down. Still measure 9 here, right? This is 9, right? So join this line to this line. Yes. Join this line to this line. Let it cross this line. So when curving your arm, you are going to curve it have 3/4 inch into this line. 3/4 inch into this line. Remember, our bust is stopping here. So for our bust, let's join our bust. Join this line to this line. Our bust measurement. Join this to this. You see? For our arm, I like using freehand, so look at what I'm doing carefully. You will join this. You see, cutting across the 3/4 we had here, back to this point. That's the simplest way to curve your arm. We are done with the front piece. As simple as it is. Remember, I said first of all, I'll go over it again for clear understanding. You take your length of the shirt. We got it. We now slanted it in by 3 inches. We took our shoulder measurement. We took our arm measurement, our bust measurement, our length. Simple. So you can go over the video in case there's anything you are not clear about. So for our back piece, now take note of this. I told us when we divided our arm of 18 by 2 and we got 9 inches, I say we should not use 9 inches complete. We should minus 2.5 inches from it. This is why. When we are cutting our back piece, we are going to fold it 1.5 inch into the front piece. That will cause the arm to increase in size. So if you had used the whole 9, now bringing 1.5 inch from the front again, it will become more than 18. So watch me as I do this. This is our back piece. I'm going to cut from here. Now take note of this place. When I get here, I'm not going to cut here exactly where the front piece is. I will extend by a minimum of 1.5 inch. Then I'll slant it down a little. Now I've shifted this shirt downwards. Look at the shirt was at the same length with the back piece. I've now shifted it downwards by 3 inches. You see the difference here is now 3 inches between the front and the back piece. It's 3 inches. I shifted it down by 3 inches. I will now bring the back piece into the front piece. Can you see what's happening? I've now brought the back piece into the front piece. Let's press it. So like I said, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please hit the subscribe button and turn the notification bell on. This video is going to have a part 2 where I will sew it. So if you don't subscribe and turn the notification bell on, you will not know when I'll drop the part 2 and you'll be lost. So subscribe so that when I drop the part 2, you will be aware and you will learn complete. So look at our arm now. We have brought in the back piece 1.5 inch into the front. Now if we measure our arm at this point now, see, look at our 9 3/4 here. Can you see this? This is where our arm is starting now. You see, we now have our 9 here, which is our arm. 9 plus 9 is 18. The 3/4 remaining here is the sewing allowance that we added. So I think that is clear enough. So let us cut. So at this point, what is left for us is remaining just the neck. So how do you cut your neck? How do you cut the neck? For this shirt, the neck size is 16. So for a neck of 16, you measure 4 inches deep. See? So it's 4 inches deep. You see that? By 1/3 inch wide. 1/3, not only 2 inches. 1/3 inch wide. Now, one other very important key point to take. For a shirt, vintage shirt, packet shirt, you don't deepen the neck behind like a native, like a senator wear, a native top. You don't do that. You don't deepen it. You cut it just the front side. So I'm going to cut it. See? It's on neck. You see? So can you see this? It's not deepened. It's just round. If it were a native, for sure I would have slant this out. I would have deepened it here like this, at least half an inch. But it's a vintage shirt. It's a shirt. We're not going to do that. So at this point, we are done cutting our vintage shirt. Simple and straightforward. You see this allowance we gave here? See this? Very important. The allowance is very, very, very important. So let's cut the sleeve now. Since our sleeve, the arm is 18, we can fold this by 8 and we'll still get our 18. So now another key point to take, one key thing to take when sleeves cutting your arm, you make sure you mark, you deepen your sleeve. One key thing to take when cutting your sleeve, you deepen your sleeve by 5 inches. See, this is 5 inches. I've deepened this sleeve by 5 inches. This is the curve. This is where the curve is going to stop. So we said our sleeve length was 8. So here to here, this is 8. This is 8. Or we give him an allowance of 2.5 inches. So we'll cut at 10.5. So we still mark 10.5 here. Remember we said our sleeve round is 12 divided by 2, you have 6 plus half inch sewing allowance, that is 6.5. See, 6.5. So we join this line to this line. See? So our curve, like I said, I like freehand, so I curve freehand. So this is our curve. It's our arm curve. I'm curving for your sake. If not, I cut without curving. And then another thing you must take note is this. Look at this. Your size of sleeve here, of arm here, is what? Is 9 3/4. Look at it. It's 9 3/4. 9 3/4. So also this curve here should be 9 3/4. Should be 9 3/4. This curve here should be 9 3/4. So this is 9 3/4. Because this is going to fix into the body of the shirt, so they must be the same size. Next, we'll cut down here first. We'll cut beyond this mark. We'll cut beyond this mark. This is the length of our sleeve where it's stopping. Remember, this is hemming allowance. So let's hem it this way first. See? Let's hem it this way first. Remember we said our sleeve round is 12. That is 6.5. So this is 6.5. So we'll join 6.5. So we'll join this line to this line. So this is our sleeve. Make a notch here. See. So we've cut one arm, so we can now use it to cut the second one. Alright, so we are done with our vintage shirt. It's remaining joining, and we'll do that in my next video. That'll be the part 2 of vintage shirt. Thanks for watching, and remember to hit the subscribe button and turn the notification bell on so that you will not miss out when I drop the part 2. Thank you so much. Welcome to Not Fashion Hub.